I went to see One Battle After Another, the newest film from the, at this point now, legendary director Paul Thomas Anderson. I never got around to seeing his last movie, Licorice Pizza, because the reception seemed to be lukewarm at best. I did, however, love Phantom Thread, so I was gonna play it by ear on this one, and luckily for me, almost every trusted film review source that I follow gave out huge praise for this, maybe the loftiest I've read so far this year. I moved some things around to make sure I saw this in theaters, and I'm happy to report it was indeed fantastic. It's about 2 hours and 45 minutes, and it uses up just about every ounce of its runtime to showcase some excellent storytelling and very compelling characters. Basically every character borders on wacky and excessive, dare I say cartoonish, but it also knows when to reel it in, and give enough to ground the audience in a sense of realism. It's absurd and ridiculous when it needs to be, and I'm kind of surprised more people in my theater weren't laughing as often as I was. These characters have just so much, well, character. Jonny Greenwood is back again with the score, and this is now going to be up there in my favorites from him. Almost every single scene felt like it had some kind of musical element pushing and driving it harder. I constantly noticed the music, which was a good sign. He really scored the fuck out of this. Also, speaking of music, imagine my delight, my joy, my pleasure when I saw none other than Dijon randomly show up on my screen. I had no idea he was in this, making his acting debut. I said, oh shit, I hope he has a speaking part. Like, what if he just doesn't have any lines? He has lines. He has them. The road to the EGOT starts here, baby. That's my dog right there. Another musician is in this, I guess, too. Teyana Taylor. Might be with a way bigger role than Dijon. Might not be. I mean, who's to say? No, but in all seriousness, I thought she did really good. She's a big character in this. Leo did nice as usual, and Sean Penn, man, he's really something here. I mean, everybody here plays an exaggerated, somewhat vibrant individual, but he's got to have one of the more memorable roles in the film. Without giving away too much, this movie is great at reflecting on the state of things right now, and having such animated characters such as this on opposite sides of the spectrum of political extremism really helps ask and answer questions that I found to be quite interesting. When it comes to the visuals, obviously this is a PTA film. You know it's going to be shot with the utmost quality and care. We have some of the best chase scenes, action scenes, stunts, and camera work you'll probably see in any movie this year. There's some genuinely seamless shit that some directors nowadays could only dream of doing. I have a few small complaints and criticisms, nothing crazy, but I gotta spoil the movie to plead my case, so skip to right here in order to bypass that. If not, here you go. I found it interesting that when the daughter was leaving to the dance, she wasn't going to take that tracker melody thing, and then he hounded her a bunch into taking it, which showed me she doesn't take his paranoia all that seriously, and that he's still closely monitoring their safety. Then at the dance, the lady shows up to sneak her out of there, and the daughter, like, instantly without fail knows how to respond and speak in their code. She says that her dad made her memorize it just in case, which makes sense. He's still paranoid, right? Then later, when asked to speak in the code, the dad is like, oh, fuck, man, I don't know how to do that anymore, and I'm not really on top of it like that these days. Like, you must have made your daughter rehearse that shit pretty recently. It seems like they switched roles for some reason. The kid shouldn't now be the one who knows her stuff and take the hiding extremely seriously. The dad shouldn't be the one who doesn't know what he's doing. It doesn't really matter, I guess, because he still finds out the rendezvous point later from Dijon and friends, but who knows how this sudden, convenient memory loss of his would have changed the story. I was wondering that. I don't know. The pivotal scene where the bounty hunter changed his mind about dropping off the girl seemed to be out of the blue to me. I get it, you don't want to cause a child's death. You even said you kind of object to killing children, and the white QAnon guys were mean to you and stuff, but I don't know. Suddenly you're like, okay, I guess I'll get myself killed for this random girl. She seems nice. Why'd you take her there in the first place then, dude? This is kind of your fault. Did he have a death wish? Like, was he planning on killing himself soon? Or is right now just the exact moment that he was having a moral objection to his line of work? Kinda sus to me. Okay, last one. I'm being such a hater right now. I found the scene where Leo and Benicio del Toro's character are driving, and then Leo just so happens to take a drink right when they pass by a cop, thus leading to the chase where they get separated. Kind of just a shitty way to take Del Toro out of the script. I can just like imagine them writing this being like, oh fuck, he can't be in this part of the story. How do we get rid of him? I guess let's just have the cop notice Leo's beer right when he has it at the exact perfect moment to see it. Like I said, I got the gist that this is supposed to be an inflated, more satirical representation of a few groups of people, almost in a Doctor Strangelove sort of way. Good movie, check it out. My fiance hates it though, so take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, like when I first heard the names of these people, I was like, dog, are we being for real? Perfidia Beverly Hills, Steve Lockjaw. Then I found out the tone allows for this though. Anytime something goofy happened, it didn't bug me too much because I sensed what this film was going for. It was there to strike a nice balance between real and silly, and I'd expect nobody to get that more than the guy who made it. He's been doing this shit for a long time now. I came away from this seeing it as work from a masterful director who by now seems like he can just make good stuff with his eyes closed. Every bit of this movie screams experience, and PTA seems to know every right button to push by now to get this thing firing easily on all cylinders. I'm giving this a very high 8 to a 9 out of 10. See it while you can in the most optimal way you can. As the title suggests, it's pretty much non-stop ridiculous chaoticness. I'd love to see this again in the future. Update video coming soon, and also other small videos, maybe another shit post if I have time. I don't know. We're just gonna play it by ear. For now, I'll see you later.